Hello everyone, my name is Sujal and I'm going to be your instructor over the next few hours. To jumpstart your learning, I'm going to give you a brief overview of automated testing of desktop, web and mobile app using coded UI with Visual Studio 2015. And then we are going to jump in and build an application right away. This course will teach you how quickly you can build test automation of web application and desktop application, including Windows Forms and WPF. This course will also give you the quick overview of mobile test automation using Xamarin. You might find similar courses at other learning sites, but let me tell you why this course is different from other courses. 3 key points to consider. Number 1. This course is short but it is creative. Number 2. You will get an excellent support within 24 hours. Number 3. I will provide latest update on existing technology so you will be aware of what's new in the market. Example of Xamarin with Visual Studio 2015, and I'll explain that in the mobile test automation section. So are you excited? Let's get started. Let's start with what is automated testing. In software testing, test automation is the use of special tool or software to control the execution of test and comparison of actual outcomes with predicted outcomes. So the first question that comes in mind is why automated testing? Because manual testing is time and cost consuming, while you can run automated test in unattended mode. Automation increase speed of test execution, improve test coverage and increase test accuracy. Now let's discuss what is coded UI and how it helps to build test automation. Automated tests that drive your application through its user interface are known as coded UI tests or CUITs. It lets you verify that the whole application, including its user interface, is functioning correctly. Automated testing can be done using different technology, different testing tool, but for this class we are going to focus on coded UI with Visual Studio 2015. You can use coded UI in 3 different ways to automate your UI tests. For the web-based application demo, I'm going to create new coded UI test project from scratch, and then I will show you how to record the steps and then execute the recorded step. After that, we can use that recorded UI maps and then code against it. I'm going to show you the demo of this web application called Online Mortgage Calculator. And here are the steps that we have to automate. Here I have opened the Visual Studio 2015, which is an enterprise version. I'm going to select new project. I'm going to use Visual C#. Underneath that there is a Windows, and inside Windows I'm going to select test project because this is an automation project. You can see there are multiple templates are available, but for coded UI test I'm going to select coded UI test project. Please select project name and project location. So right now it is creating new project. As you can see, it is created a new project. It has created new files, and at the same time it also opens the recording window saying how do you want to create your coded UI test. I'm going to use default option, so I'm going to click on OK button. As soon as I click on start button, you can see the record is already started. Right now nothing is recorded until you open website and start clicking on web control. So let's type 300 in the mortgage amount box, type 3 in the interest rate box and type 15 in the length in year box, and then click on calculate button. Right now it is still in recording mode, so I would like to click on generate code button. It will ask us for method name. Let's take the default name, and now let's click on add and generate button. And then I'm going to close recording. Now let's go back and run, but before we do that, let's examine the code to see what it's recorded. As you see in the project explorer, we have coded UI test1.cs file, which is our main test file. But you can see there are 2 more files are also created. One is uimap.cs file and other is uimap.designer.cs file. If you see the uimap.designer.cs file, it has all the recording object inside. So you don't want to modify that file, because whatever you modify here will be override whenever you record new object in that file. If you need to modify the code, then you need to modify either main test file or uimap.cs file, which is a partial class file. Now let's build the code and run the test to make sure that whatever we have recorded is working fine. While running tests, you can look at the screen to see the progress. As soon as the test has been finished, you can see the green checkbox. That means the test has been passed. You can see the test took 18 seconds to execute. If it's failed, then you will have a red mark on the test name, and you will also see the reason for failure. Now let's go back to URL and see the results. You can see all the input value and you can also see the value of monthly mortgage payment. Now we can go back to code and modify existing recorded code. Let's modify only interest rate and keep the other two values same. Instead of using interest rate equal to 3, we should programmatically change to 4. I'm going to the definition of function. From that function, find the interest rate parameter. This is the designer file, and as I have said earlier, you don't want to modify this file. So let's go back and modify the main test file. Before UI map function call, put the interest rate variable code there with a new value equal to 4. So what we did is override only interest rate value and keeping the remaining two values same. Now rebuild the solution and run the test again. Everything looks good. Now let's go back to URL and see the results. You can see all the input value with only interest rate value change. And you can also see the updated value of monthly mortgage payment. So this is the way to modify existing code. And that's all I have for the web-based application demo. For the WPF desktop application demo, we are going to use code first approach. I'm going to show you the demo of this basic WPF calculator application. And here are the steps that we have to automate. Once again, I'm going to select new project and we are going to follow the same steps that we did for earlier demo. Please select project name and project location and click OK. Now click on cancel button to close the recorder window. Now let's define calculator main window, which will help us to search object on all child windows. Now we need to click on 7 button. As you can see, I have declared a variable called button 7 for clicking 7 button. For WPF application, all buttons are generally under WPF button class. Also, I add a search property name as 7 so that system can search it. I add another search property automation ID that is specially for automation of WPF UI object. Make sure that this property value is unique. I have also added the Windows title too. Now click plus button, then click 5 button, and finally click equals button. Now let's go back, build the code and run the test. As you can see, the test has been passed. Now let's see the results. So that's all for the WPF desktop application demo. Now let's talk about mobile application testing. Mobile application testing is a process by which application software developed for mobile device is tested for its functionality, usability and consistency. Mobile quality is important, but testing is expensive and time consuming. Creating automated UI tests require manual interaction with mobile application in order to capture and identify the user interaction. And that's why we look for some good automation tools. And here are some of the candidates. As I have said in the beginning, let me give you the example of technology update. If you want to build the app for iOS, you need to know Objective-C, which is an old C-based language. The alternative is to learn Swift, which is a new programming language developed by Apple. If you want to build the same app for Android, you need to learn Java. And if you want to build for Windows, of course you need to know C#. Sounds very confusing. It's not just about learning different programming languages. It's about the fact that each platform has its own UI framework, which is built in with different architecture and different API. Well, with the new technology, we have an answer for that, Xamarin. Xamarin Form is an UI framework for building native cross-platform mobile app using C# with Visual Studio 2015. You code your app only once and let Xamarin to take care of everything. Xamarin compiler builds your app for each platform, so you don't need to learn different languages. And same is true for testing. With Xamarin Test Recorder, you can record automated user interface tests. The Xamarin Test Recorder reduces the time and effort it takes to create automated UI tests that can be submitted to Xamarin Test Cloud for even load testing. Let's summarize what we just learned in this course. We started this course with what is automated testing and advantage of automated testing over manual testing. We then looked at coded UI to build test automation project for different technology. Finally, at the end, we looked at what is Xamarin and how to use Xamarin Test Recorder to build test automation for mobile app. Now you should be able to build UI test automation project for your company's application. On the top of that, and very importantly, this course should also help you for test automation job interview. I hope you enjoy this course, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in next course. Thank you.